In the Southwest, the president will be in Utah today. And joining us now to talk about it, President of Public Affairs for the polling firm Ipsos, Clifford Young. Clifford, thank you for waking up with us. I want to start not with Biden, but with the former president and these indictments, plural, that we have been talking about. Can you talk about, in the data that you see and in the work that you're doing, do people care?
Yes and no, right? Democrats are really focused. They're paying attention to it. This is an issue for them. This is the primary issue, perhaps, of this electoral cycle. But the rest of Americans, no. It's sort of something that's very distant. It's not in their head. They're worried about the economy. They're worried about making ends meet, and this is not the central issue. But that said, when you look at this issue, you can't understand this issue without looking through partisan lenses, right? It's a tale of two Americas, red and blue. So on the one hand, Republicans see it as politically motivated. They see it as unbelievable. They do not believe the indictments. And they ultimately see it as, individuals going after their champion, the elites going after their champion.
And he says that, right? He said yesterday on the campaign trail, I'm indicted for you.
Yes, exactly. I'm your champion. I'm doing it for you. I'm channeling your grievances. Yeah. And that's what, once again, a tale of two Americas. America that lives in a certain bubble and understands the world in a certain way and really does not believe the indictments.
But is there a difference, you think, in indictments versus convictions?
Yes, very much so. That, once again, is a tale of two worlds as well. Indictments on the one hand and convictions on the other. A conviction is much more weighty, qualitatively different. What we know is that 67% of Americans wouldn't vote for Trump if he was convicted of a felony. Obviously, those numbers are exaggerated a bit, but we can see convictions as carving off some numbers from Trump if it were to happen. So qualitatively different.
And we'll see what that looks like when people are actually experiencing the possibility of a conviction, as opposed to just looking at indictment, and then next week probably indictment.
Yeah, it's all. Indictments, once again, are politically sort of framed already. We saw this sort of issue with the fraud squad as a way of kind of framing it and tweaking it. Convictions are different, but I believe with a concrete happening or political fact like a conviction, that moves the needle. That begins to move the needle.
And it makes sense to me when you talk about that voters are much more preoccupied with the economy. People are always looking at what's in front of them. I hear this when I'm on the campaign trail as well. But the thing that's always been striking to me is the ways in which Americans have a view of the economy that may not actually be borne out by economists. The fact that there's a feeling that things might be worse off than they actually are. For the Biden administration heading into an election year, how can they reconcile that? I've had conversations with Democrats who say, we did the Inflation Reduction Act, but most Americans are only aware of inflation, not the Inflation Reduction Act. I mean, square that circle a little bit.
Yeah, it's really about what's happening in their day-to-day lives. Yeah. It's about making ends meet. It's about being able to pay for things. The price of basic foodstuffs and gas has been high, and people feel that, and they do not feel the connection. And in addition to that, the branding has been poor. How many brands are there? How many initiatives are there? And that's difficult for people to understand, once again, in their day-to-day lives, and the polling bears that out.
I think that's right. This is a conversation that I've been having with Democrats now for 2 years or a year since the Inflation Reduction Act and everything that would have been in Build Back Better. So, Clifford, keep tracking that because I'm personally fascinated by the ways that it's manifesting. Clifford Young, thank you for joining us. And still